What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Action Sunday. This episode was supposed to be last week's episode, but unfortunately I decided not to because there was a death in my family, and of course I apologize. I really wish I could have gotten to you earlier to tell you what was going on, but yeah. So as a makeup for it, this is it. So I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone here with this week's episode because I was going to review some more requested videos of yours, but at the same time I realized I just saw a movie recently that I've been putting off, and I want to talk about it. So to kill two birds with one stone, I decided to make this week's episode a review of the Uncharted movie. Now, a little bit of backstory, okay? So, during my little trip to Hawaii, I flew Hawaiian Air from San Diego to Hawaii, and on the flight, and of course, they offered in-flight entertainment. So, I've been putting off a couple of movies, so I decided, let's see, I have 6 hours to kill. So I decided to watch Uncharted. So that was one of the big ones I decided to watch. So here's one I'm going to review. So after much thought, and here we go, let's talk about this movie that stars Tom Holland as everyone's favorite super thief, Nathan Drake. So yeah, I remember years ago when people were saying, like, wait a minute, what? Why Tom Holland? But actually, Tom Holland actually does a pretty damn good job filling into the space of Nathan Drake, and I think he really nails it. It's like he kind of bounces a little bit between the smart, intelligent one and the super sleuth thief, and of course he's got good humor to match because this is Spider-Man, man. Come on, just into the Spider-Verse. Side note: I will get to some of those new Spider-Mans eventually. I do want to review them, even though I'm going against my code is I don't want to review a lot of superhero movies, but I do plan on bringing them to my channel eventually, maybe into the new year, okay? But I digress. So yeah, I will admit, seeing Tom Holland take up the role of Nathan Drake, I thought was a pretty interesting touch. I think it did a fantastic job. I love the fact that the entire story followed something similar to the games. Now, I'm going to admit this right now. I've never played the games because I never had a PlayStation 3 or 4. I was an Xbox guy, so shoot me for that one. But eventually, I do want to play the Uncharted games. Of course, try to get some more insight into them. But I will admit, like that first scene that I remember seeing in the movie, I was like, oh my God, this is definitely something I remember in one of the Uncharted games. And of course, that made me go into this saying, Okay, the people behind the studio, they know what the hell they're doing. Sony knows what they're doing, so obviously, they're going to dish out a good story, right? Well, I kind of agree, even though I felt like it was a little choppy, a little mediocre, and also, the story kind of hits all the big cliches that I've seen in a typical adventure movie or like something like that. It definitely felt like an Indiana Jones movie that I'm really, really excited for, and it really worked, but hey, there are moments that really hits all the cliches. I'm like, they really gotta stop doing this kind of shit. They have to, okay? But of course, again, for the sake of the story and for the sake of following a source to the game, it really does work to its advantage, and it does. And I really like that. I will give props. I really love the cinematography. It looks fantastic. I love the great setting. The cast, again, besides Tom Holland, having Mark Wahlberg played Sullivan, or Sully for short, I thought it was a pretty good touch. And at the end, you're like you just want to see what happens with this guy. And then, of course, as things go on, it's like, what can you say? But man, great stuff. Seeing Antonio Banderas play the villain was really interesting. I'm not used to seeing him play a villain. Now, of course, here it's kind of cool. I kind of like it, but at the same time, it's like okay, you meet him, and then of course, culminates I think almost a half hour later after you meet him, he's dead. Spoilers ahead. I was like, what the fuck? But then again, I don't know. Again, if any Uncharted fans out there, if you know the real story, maybe if that actually happened in one of the games, maybe I don't know. But again, I get that they were trying to introduce some new cliches as well as stick to some old cliches of some of these old adventure serials and all these adventure movies. It works to the best of it. And again, I really found myself enjoying myself during the flight and during the movie. Moments had me laughing. There was some moments had me smiling. And there was moments that had me going, ooh, ah. I see what you can do there. I'm like it felt like I would be playing the actual game. And that's a good thing. Am I right? And if I'm wrong, then I feel like then the movie just completely missed its mark. But I will admit the final part, like leaving the door open for eventual sequel, really had me going. I had my jaw on the floor. I was like, oh my goodness. And of course, there were moments I had you thinking. It's like, the clues and everything. I'm like, this is pretty good. Like, this is something I would expect to see from the video games. And again, really good stuff. Again, my hat's off to everybody. Besides all the cliches, I feel it's a fine movie, but I feel like, again, a little bit of work. And I think Uncharted would be a fantastic video game adaptation. And to me, I really feel like it surpassed my expectations, okay? I kind of was expecting a little bit more, but I'll admit this was a fine, good movie and a damn fine, good video game adaptation of one of Sony's best selling franchises. And I say that with being honest, because it is really good. Again, it makes me want to pick up, makes me want to play some more Uncharted now. Okay, so with that in mind, if I had to give Uncharted a score, I don't know. I was bouncing back and forth a lot. Okay, there's a lot to take in. Okay, so after much thought, I'm gonna give Uncharted. I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10. I was contemplating giving it a hard 8, but I'm like, it's not quite there. I feel like a little more ironing out of things, and you would have a classic on your hands. But overall, there is some replay value to just go back and keep watching, make you smile, and seeing just Tom Holland just kick some ass as Nathan Drake. All right? So that does for this week. Let me know what you think. Thumbs up this video. Subscribe to my channel. Stay tuned for some more awesome and exciting videos.